The Battle of the Beltways. The biggest game between the Ravens and the Washington Commanders. In their brief history of head-to-head matchups, this was one of the best. The upstart Commanders got a reality check though. As the big dogs up north in the 4-1-0 took care of business 30-23, winning 4 in a row, Ravens spot. Remember, we told you, RELAX. To relax, because it's a long season, and the Ravens are beating up. Props to the Commanders, as they are looking real good as well. We're going to talk about it from both perspectives. We got the Ravens perspective, we got the Commanders perspective, we got the NFL Week 6 recap. Nothing really egregious this week, but we'll talk about it. A special edition of the Baltimore Ravens post-game show. Ravens, Commanders, Baltimore, D.C. It's all love for the Flex Zone Podcast. The Baltimore Ravens and Washington Commanders post-game show is live on your television, your streaming devices, your cellular devices. It's the Sunday night main event. No, not Sunday Night Football, the Flex Zone Podcast, official Baltimore Ravens post-game show. Ravens, Commanders, you guys know we had to bring the heat, and you ain't watched the post-game show till you watch the Flex Zone Podcast, fellas. Only place Give Me Sports. How you want it?
When you need it.
I got an all-star crew. You guys already know how we do it each and every week after each Ravens game. And this week, we have a very, very special, illustrious guest joining us once again. I'm excited to have him here on the post-game show. But that leadoff is my right-hand man, social media producer. I don't think we've been to sleep yet, Raj. I think they got another match for AEW. It's still going on. We saw the Ravens today, and we don't stop here on the Flex Zone Podcast. But I couldn't do it without you, my brother. I always appreciate you. It's one and only Big Raj. How you feeling, my guy?
Oh, no sound effects. Okay, never mind.
Finish him, Daddy.
That's one big son of a bitch!
That's exactly what the Commanders were saying when they were saying Derrick Henry go through the middle. Man, they was like, God damn, we got to tackle this big-ass dude. Yeah, man, I'm feeling pretty good, man. Great game. We'll get into it. But, yeah, feeling good.
This next brother, he's joining me for the preview. He's gracious tonight, staying up with us for the post-game show. You know we couldn't do a Ravens Commanders post-game show without the number one Commanders fan, the number one Commander himself. Just like Jaden Daniels commanded the offense, he commands the Flex Zone Podcast. The one, the only, Cravante, Bebe, the Commandalorian himself. Welcome to the official Baltimore Ravens post-game show. My guy, how you feeling?
Those haters can't stand us. Left hand up. Commanders. We fight for RDC. Who are we? The Commanders.
Hey, man, I know moral victories aren't a thing, but you guys showed you today. You guys get my respect. We talked about it in preview. I had 31-24 for Monty. I wasn't far off, but you guys showed up today, man. And your fans showed up too, man. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I don't like to do moral victories and things like that, but this was a good measuring stick. The Baltimore Ravens are a championship level contending team, and we were in it. We did not get blown out. If this was a Ron Rivera led team, I feel like it'd have been the Lions Cowboys today. So we got some fight in us, you know what I'm saying? And there's nobody giving up, you know what I'm saying? And we got a guy at quarterback, man. And I am very, very excited moving forward because, like I told y'all before, after this game, we don't see an elite level quarterback the rest of the year. So all those games are winnable, but it's going to be the defense that lets us down more. I would say more often than not. Granted, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry can't do nothing with it. You know what I'm saying? Can't do nothing with it. You got to be able to put up some points, and we did not put up enough today. But I'm proud of my quarterback's performance. Offense as a whole, he did what he could to command the offense. I think we could use another receiver, maybe Amari Cooper. Not looking at Devontae Adams, but probably an Amari Cooper. Maybe a T. Higgins would be a good fit for the offense. But my gosh, our next draft, defense, because we couldn't stop. Zay Flowers had his way, with us in the first half. Like, my gosh, could not stop him. And of course, Derrick Henry just what's the sound, Raj?
Boom, 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 boom.
Just, every time, even the times when we stopped them, you know what I'm saying, for a short game or no game.
No water, just pain.
Even when we did stop them for a short game, it was like, God, that was a lot. And of course, Lamar Jackson had an amazing passing performance. Again, I think the last 3 games, the Ravens offense has looked crazy. Like, there's like 70% on third down completions, something crazy like that. And Lamar Jackson back-to-back 300s. So, this is a hell of a measuring stick. But I feel good about my team moving forward. There's no shame in losing to a championship contender. So, I did not have my head held low for once. I kept my head up.
Let's start with that. You guys were out and about today, kind of feeling the vibe amongst the people. And Raj, how was the vibe today? Like I said, a lot of Commanders fans were in the area. We know the Ravens fans do their thing. What was just the vibe coming into this game, you think, of being amongst the people?
Oh man, this was like a measuring stick for the Commanders. A lot of the fans, when we did our analysis of Jaden Daniels during the week, we had a bunch of comments, and Commanders fans were saying, this is our game. We're going to win this.
I did see those comments, by the way.
Yeah, they were going hard.
Sure.
They were going hard. They were saying a lot of things. But I mean, going into it, I ain't gonna say it was y'all Super Bowl or anything like that. That's crazy to say. But they wanted to see if they can compete with the Baltimore Ravens and possibly beat us. That was the mentality. That was the thing going in. They were 4-1. They were feeling themselves. They whooped up on Cleveland last week and a couple other teams, and they was like, can we beat the Baltimore Ravens? And you know what? Damn it, they almost did. They almost came in here and they put up a great fight. Jaden Daniels looked fantastic. He looked great. I thought he was poised in a lot of the situations, especially when he was, I think, fourth down. He threw that ball to Scary Terry, and Scary Terry caught the ball, man. I mean, hats off to Jaden Daniels for real. He showed his behind off today. And I thought he played a great game for being a rookie in that situation. But the Baltimore Ravens had to let y'all know, man. We had to let y'all know that y'all still got a ways to go. Y'all a couple of pieces away. Jaden Daniels is only going to get better, which is a good thing. But after that first interception, man, Lamar Jackson, though, he was cooking, man, with hot grease, man. He was giving it to Zay. Ha! He was giving it to Bateman. Ha! Mark Andrews was in it. Ha, ha, ha. You know what I'm saying? They was all getting the ball, man. And it makes sense because Derrick Henry is the focal point of this offense. We all know this. Derrick Henry is the guy that makes the train run. He's like a guy that you have to focus on all the time. If he's getting the ball, you got to stack the box. You got to put 8 in the box, because if you don't, you saw Cravante, he was going to get out. He was going to get them nice 15 yards, 20 yards down the field, first downs, and he was killing it, man, when he got a chance to do that. So he is the vocal point of this offense. Lamar Jackson fed off of it. A lot of man coverage. Zay Flowers was eating like none tomorrow. Bateman was getting involved, like I said before. and a couple other guys was getting their catches here and there. But the Ravens are extremely dangerous when Derrick Henry is doing his thing and he's able to get single coverage on every wide receivers. You can't really double anybody on this team right now because Derrick Henry is that nasty. And when Lamar Jackson has enough time to throw the football, my God, man, he can make things look crazy and great. So, and plus he has the legs as well. He has fast legs, so it makes him even more dangerous. But the Ravens are just showing off right now, man. Their offense is clicking on all cylinders. They finally figured it out. They figured out who they really want to be. They are a running football team. And when they get chances and opportunities to throw the football, they're going to take advantage of it. I like that sweet spot of only throwing the ball 26 times, 25, 26, 30 times. That's a sweet spot. That's what you want to do. You want to be able to throw it that many amount of times, get them nice runs in, and that's exactly what they did, man. So hats off to the Baltimore Ravens. They showed up when they needed to, even though they was a little bit flat today. The energy wasn't all the way there during maybe the first quarter. But as soon as the game was going on, after the first turnover, they got hip to it. They was like, look, we got to wake up. We can't be playing around with the Commanders. They're actually serious. So I'm glad that they showed up. But the offense played extremely well today.
Cavante, let's start with your quarterback, Jaden Daniels. I'll bring up the box score in a minute. 24 of 35, 269, 2 touchdowns, no picks, only sacked 3 times. Well, not only 3 times, but 6 carries for 22 yards. I think the Ravens did the best job of containing him in the pocket. What did you see from your quarterback one, man? He looked the part, and the other quarterback taken before him is starting to look his part as well, which we'll get to in London. But Jaden Daniels is looking like the real deal, and seeing him up close was a pleasure today.
Oh yeah, for sure. He looked as Rod said, he looked poised. The moment wasn't too big. The stage wasn't too big. And what I liked in particular is that when the Ravens, we couldn't really run the ball either. So when it got to the parts when it got to those possessions where we absolutely had to pass the ball, Jane Daniels still made it happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's tough when it's an obvious pass situation and the quarterback still completes the pass. That's still really good. He showed a lot of poise, and not turning that ball over is top tier, especially for a young rookie quarterback. Now, Byron, the only thing I didn't like is a couple of those hits. He was taking, I did not care for. But other than that, he played well. He put his stamp on the league. Well, I think he did that a couple weeks ago, but now it's like, all right, he's for real because this was a top tier opponent. Because folks were saying, oh, yeah, we were 4-1, but we ain't played nobody. Played the Baltimore Ravens, played them as tough as we could, and he looked good. Our defense looked bad. You know what I'm saying? So that's he looked great. Especially for a rookie, given the environment on a road. He looked good and looks very promising moving forward.
Real quick, Cavante, our guy Brian Robinson didn't play. I don't know if he was hurt from Alabama almost blowing it yesterday, but he wasn't his best. He didn't play, so the run game was kind of non-existent. Eckler had a few catches, like you said, but I think no Brian Robinson was a big loss today.
Yeah, for sure. We like I said, we couldn't get anything going with the run game. And our top guy was out. We still had Eckler, so the passing portion of the backfield was still there, but rushing we couldn't get much going. So that made us one-dimensional, unfortunately. And once you get us in that situation as an elite level team such as the Ravens, once they're one-dimensional, is go hunt, go get them now.
Raj, and I said this to Cavante, and I'm still, I don't know, maybe I'm just living in a fantasy world. The Baltimore Ravens have the best offense in the NFL, and I don't even know if it's really close between them and number two. Like you said, they're running the ball, they're throwing the ball. The offensive line has really taken a big step. I know they gave up 2 sacks today, but those maybe could be more on Lamar because he held the ball a little bit. But Lamar, 20 of 26, 323, 1 touchdown to 1 pick early in the first quarter. And Derrick Henry, He leads the league in rushing, 24 carries, 132 yards, 2 more touchdowns, giving him, I believe, 9 on the season. Leads the league in that as well. This offense is clicking, man. We'll get to the receivers in a second, but just up front with those two guys in the offensive line, which thing.
I thought they were great. Like I said before, I mean, Lamar Jackson, when he has time to throw the football, he's one of the best throwers in the NFL. And like I said, having Derrick Henry just helps. It helps everything. Like, you just don't know, man. Our running game last year was really good with Gus Edwards. It could have been a lot better if J.K. would have stayed healthy the entire year, or Keaton Mitchell would have stayed healthy down the stretch. But when you're able to run the football, it makes everything easier. Like, Lamar Jackson does not have to carry the team by himself. He has a whole nother big bad MFer that can carry the football and do things that only he can do, man. I mean, literally throwing people out the way, rolling through people. People are afraid to tackle this man. Legitimately, they are afraid to tackle him. So having that guy around, having another guy that's exactly like him, another superstar, helps Lamar Jackson look the best version of himself. So I thought those two was fantastic. It seems that, the league was just very, very afraid when we picked up Derrick Henry, because they knew if those two click together, it might be very, very tough to stop. And so far, through 6 games, nobody can really stop us like that, outside of Kansas City. But we didn't know what we had going into that game, which I wish that was a later game, but it is what it is. But now they found their footing. Now they figured out how to use Derrick Henry. We don't always use him, but we use him in spurts. It's like, okay, we'll give him the ball here. We'll put Justice Hill in the game. Now we're gonna put him in here. I mean, it's like 2nd and 6 or something like that, so he can do his thing. They figured out how to incorporate him without over incorporating him, and getting him some rest when he needs it. So Todd Monken is doing a phenomenal job right now. Great job right now. Hopefully he stays past this year. Please stay, Todd. Don't go nowhere, please.
Cravante, from your offensive perspective with the Commanders, we see Zach Ertz 4 for 68, Noah Brown 4 for 58, Scary Terry. We talked about how good he is, 6 for 53. Sorry about Ohio State last night. That was a good game, but I mean, Eckler 4 for 47. I know it's not your weekend, Cravante. I'm sorry, but the offense of the Commanders, man. I mean, what did you see from the offense outside of Jay Daniels with the receivers, the running backs, tight ends, etc.?
Man, I wish Brian Robinson was in the game, just so I could get us from a fully healthy perspective. Offensive line did a decent job. I'll say that the offensive line did a pretty decent job. Excuse me. Cornelius Lucas and Brandon Coleman, a rookie. They're still splitting time at left tackle. Excuse me. They're still splitting time at left tackle. One gave a little bit on the left side. Gave a little bit. But they played decent overall. I love Scary Terry, especially that second catch. Clutch, 4th down, needed it, had to have it. I think Zach Ertz is probably Jaden Daniels' favorite target in the middle of the field. Deep is Terry McLaurin, obviously. Noah just getting back, coming off an injury. Glad to see he's productive. They were okay. Zach Ertz got on kind of late. Got on a little late for me. I'm surprised Jaden Daniels didn't hit him a little sooner. But Cliff Kingsbury did what he could. Because like I said, hostile environment, pretty good to solid defense. Maybe not so much on the back end, but the front 7 is pretty stout. So we did okay as an offense. Our offense looked decent today as far as our skill position players. We don't have nobody that's a juggernaut out there, which is why I said we probably could use another another wide receiver on the outside. Luke McCaffrey, didn't see much from him. I did see one catch where he's pretty close to scoring, But
1 for 5, Devontae. I thought we would see more too.
and then that was the one catch. So Dami Brown, uh, not really. So I think we could stand to upgrade the wide receiver position, but they played a decent game. I love seeing Terry McLaurin getting in the end zone twice though.
Raj, I told you and Jerry last week we didn't need Devontae Adams. Zay Flowers goes out there. And actually, Devontae said it too in our preview. Got to stop Zay Flowers. You got to stop Zay Flowers. He mentioned Zay Flowers multiple times. Zay Flowers goes out 9 for 132, no touchdowns, 9 targets. In typical Ravens fashion, only in the first half he didn't get 1 target. In the second half, no catches. Probably could have had 200 yards, but Zay and Bateman, man, got to give Bateman his flowers. 4 for 71. He looks like he's doing a damn thing. He's locked in with Lamar. They're building chemistry. Andrews told guys don't give up on him yet. 3 for 66, a touchdown. Likely had 2 for 27. Aguilar 1 for 25. Spreading the ball around, and Zay Flowers looking like a number one receiver, Raj.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to watch. I'm loving every bit of it. We didn't know what we had in Zay Flowers. I mean, we thought that he was going to be good coming into the year, and then he has a slow start. He only gets the ball maybe once or twice per game. Besides the week 2 when he had I think 91 yards and a touchdown. It was like, bro, when are you going to give him the football? Like like he was fiending to get it, and then he had that tweet where he was like, "I need the football a little bit more." He retweeted something or whatever that a fan has said that he needs the ball more. But now these are the past 2 games, man. He's been balling out. He's been showing up. He's been getting open. It's like him and Lamar have a connection together, like how him and Hollywood had back when Hollywood was still here, and they're building chemistry. He's catching every football. I think at one point he was 8 for 8, like 8 targets, 8 receptions. I was like, my goodness, and he was just abusing whoever was covering him. I mean, it was
It was
crazy to see.
everybody. It was everybody.
Yeah, he was
Everybody.
abusing
Whoever was
damn near
covering didn't
everybody.
matter.
Corners, safeties. He was anybody that was trying to guard him. He was doing his dance moves and stuff. You know how he likes to get down. But the second half, Lamar, went somewhere else with the football, and I guess they started playing defense against Zay because Zay was eating in the first half, and that's when Brother Bateman got involved a little bit more. Bateman was catching some nice passes here and there as well, and he didn't drop a football. He looked focused. He was moving, shaking, and popping as well. And man, I mean this wide receiving core, man, when they have time and they're able to beat their man and get open and they catch the football extremely well. It's cool to see. And even Aguilar had a nice catch, in the middle of the field. He caught a nice ball, I think, for like 20 yards or whatever. So, I mean, this wide receiving core, they got slid a lot in the offseason. Bateman was missing practice like damn near every week. Zay was the only person that was showing up. Aguilar was dropping passes as well. Lamar was cussing them out during huddles and stuff that we heard of. I mean, we didn't know what to expect. We was like, yo, we need another wide receiver. We need to go get somebody else. Devontae Adams, should he come here? Should we go grab somebody else in the offseason? Yada, yada, yada. And right now, in 6 games, Zay Flowers has definitely became that number 1 guy for Lamar. And he's showing up and he's doing, great things with the football. And I'm just so proud that Bateman is finally stepping up. He's healthy. He looks good. He looks focused, like you said, Byron. And I mean, it's just everything you want to see, man. So hopefully they keep progressing together, and Lamar and his wide receivers. Hopefully, because the competition is going to get a little bit more tougher down the stretch. We got
Next week, Raj, you'll see it in person.
Man,
What did Tampa do today? We'll get to
put up
it.
51 points today, man. I was like, God damn, 51? Really?
Baker's looking legit.
Baker looks fantastic, man. Even though he had 3 interceptions, he had 4 touchdown passes. So, and they put up 51 points on them boys, man. So, like I said, there's gonna be stiffer competition. Still got to see them Steelers. So you already know how that's gonna work. So, and this is a good start, though, man. This is a good start. These last 2 games, the wide receivers been getting busy. And that's what you want to see, man. You want to see everybody get involved in, some type of way. And Mark Andrews is coming back to form, so I'm very happy with that as well. So I'm happy for the receivers, man. They looking good, and Lamar is having some really good games with throwing the football in the air. So good stuff.
Cavante, let's go to defense. What did you think about your team defense? I think Deron Payne, he left the game at one point. Okay, well, that's appropriate. What did you think about your defense?
My gosh, Zay Flowers again did whatever he wanted to do. Everywhere, cross this way, cross that way, comebacks, did whatever he wanted to do. And of course, Derrick Henry, and we actually did a pretty good job on Derrick Henry, probably the first half. But then eventually you just keep punching and punching and punching. Eventually he's gonna break one. Defense, it was too much for us. Lamar and Derrick Henry are too much for any defense to handle, especially an experienced one, a young one, and one that just kind of got together. So if I had to give it a grade, it'd probably be a D. Maybe probably a regular D. Because the Ravens truthfully could do whatever they wanted on offense. Outside of that one interception early, they pretty much did whatever they wanted to do.
Let's get to the look ahead, Cavante, with your team. You go home, you have Carolina, you know how bad they are. We talked about some of the games. I'll pull up the schedule and we'll go through that. A lot of winnable games, like you mentioned. And this isn't the same old Commanders. I know I talk about the same old Terps and same old Orioles and all that stuff. But these Commanders, man, they look different. They're very well coached. Dan Quinn is a hell of a coach. And you seen Josh Harris up there celebrating, jumping up and down. I want to spend my money. He's having a good time. You gotta love, you gotta love where you hit it with the team's direction. And I'll pull up the schedule, but it just, and I'm not even a Commanders fan, but knowing you and following and seeing what they do, it just feels different with this team.
Oh my gosh, yes. As even in a losing effort, I was like, I feel good. You know what I'm saying? I feel good moving forward for the rest of the year. I feel good. Because like I said, this is the best team on the schedule. Moving forward, and you're about to pull up the schedule. You guys are the best team that we have. I mean that we played and are going to play moving forward. With Panthers, Bears, Giants, Steelers, Eagles. Excuse me. I can't wait till we play the Eagles and the Cowboys. That's another NFC East measuring stick. But I like our chances moving forward. Like I think we could get to 11 wins.
I can see that. We talked about it in the preview, man. I mean, I think before the season, we were all pretty high on the Commanders, and seeing how the Cowboys went to bid today, it looks like you guys are, and the Eagles just still can't get right. Nick Sirianni going back and forth with fans. Raj, real quick before we get to around the NFL, because I do want to touch on some of these games with you guys. Get your input. What did you think about the Ravens defense today? I know last week they got lit up like a fireworks display on 4th of July, but today they looked a little bit more disciplined.
They looked a little bit better. I mean, Dean is back. They was bending, not breaking again, which is better than what they were doing last week. But Stevens, man, I'm not gonna get on him too much because he did play a little bit better, even though he got schooled by by Scary Terry on that one touchdown. But yeah, man, they play a little bit better. They still giving up too many yards in the middle of the field though. And Roquan he looked a lot better as well. A teeny bit faster. I mean, he did, stop Jaden Daniels from getting that first down, so I can't get on the brother too much. But Kyle Hamilton, man, that one hit that he gave to Scary Terry, my goodness, I thought he was gonna take his head off. And it was that hit that Cravante was talking about when they hit Jayden Daniels, and I think near the end zone. Man, I thought Roquan was trying to kill him, man. It was crazy. It was crazy. But defense, they bended a lot, gave up a touchdown, gave up another touchdown. But in the end, they didn't give up the biggest of all plays like they did last week. So they looked a lot better, but they still got a lot of things to work on. Seriously, because like I said before, it's only going to get worse. The schedule gets a lot tougher, and we got to see Evans and Godwin, man. And I'm not looking forward to that matchup. I'm really not. But hopefully Wiggins could stop grabbing people, hopefully, because he was grabbing all over. I think Terry, he was like, I need you, brother. I need you. Come here. Come here. I need you. I need to grab you. And he don't need to do that. And if he can stop doing that, he can be a better player because the referees are looking at him now. I mean, he got away with it a lot last week. And he got away with it a lot, today as well, except for that one play. But yeah, man, you can't be grabbing on people like that, especially if you're going to be a number one or a number one outside corner or number two outside corner. You can't do that. So they looked a lot better, but they still got a lot to work on. But hopefully it gets better, going down the stretch because we're gonna need the defense to be a lot better. We can't have a shootout every goddamn week. It's just it's not gonna look good.
Real quick, both kickers did well as well. Cavante, you have a kicker. We talked about it in the preview. And Justin Tucker, Raj, looks like he's getting back to form as well.
Yes, sir. I mean, Jay Tuck didn't miss a kick today. Happy for him. I'm happy that he's getting back to form. I'm happy that he's not being talked about as much anymore because he's kicking them and making them. So that's always a good sign. Like you said, Cavante's kicker was Sherbert. That's his name, Sherbert, I think. Siebert. I mean, he did miss one 50-yard field goal kick, but I can't really, I can't knock him for that. I mean, it's a 50-yarder, Yeah, there you go. He did miss that 50-yarder. So if you want nuggets tomorrow from McDonald's,
go Google it.
Go get yourself a 6-piece from McDonald's.
We get more meat. Is that what you're saying, bro?
Yes, you can get as much meat as you want from Mickey D's.
We love you.
No bread.
Yeah.
No water.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I mean, both played well. Oh, the dogs. Cleveland, you okay? Cleveland, you okay?
Finger licking good special. That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, man, both kickers were good. Minus the missed field goal by Siebert. But yeah, man, good job by both of those brothers.
Good, Cavante, I'll give you the last word on special teams before we go around the
NFL. Feels good to have a kicker that I can rely on. He called man Sherbert. That's hilarious. And was that kick? Wasn't that kick blocked? Was that kick blocked? The one
that was the extra point, but it went in. Extra point was blocked, but it still went in.
That was another one. That was another one.
Ben Cleveland had hit it, but it still went in.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad to see JT's back on track, and I'm glad to say that we actually have a kicker that I can somewhat rely on. So, special teams did pretty good today.
All right, guys. Cavante, but Rod, as well. We like to go in depth a little more on the post-game show, look at the games of the week, and get to it and talk about what we think is going to happen as we head into, as we call, Overreaction Monday. Cavante, Raj, I mentioned it a little earlier. Started out in London. Again, another rough night for Tony Khan. Raj, we talked about it last night, led into today. The Jacksonville, London Jaguars go across the pond, and they really get their ass whooped 35-16. But I told you guys, I know we love Jaden. Let's not forget about Caleb Williams. That brother's starting to put it together. I had the Bears as a playoff team, and they got the win today, Raj.
I'm not surprised either, man. The Jacksonville Jaguars are dumpster fire at this point. And I think they go to London next week as well, so he might as well just stay there. But yeah, they're not a good football team, not at all. The quarterback has regressed. Travis Etienne didn't even get the ball today. I think he had -1 on my fantasy team, so I was very pissed off about that. Christian Kirk didn't do much of nothing, and Brian Robinson I don't think really did much. So yeah, they're just a team that's not good. They gave Trevor Lawrence the bag too early, I believe, and they're gonna suffer for it because they just can't stop nobody and they can't score. So when you can't do neither one, it's gonna be curtains. So, but good, congrats to Caleb Williams. He's finally starting to figure it out. It took him a couple games to get his feet wet with the Bears, but I mean, come on, you got to get better when you have all those great wide receivers around you. I mean, come on now, you can't. I mean, DJ Moore, I mean, Keenan Allen, and Romeo Daw. I mean, come on, bro, you got to get it together. So, yeah, man. The Bears are going to only get better from here. Trust and believe.
Those Bears, man.
Caleb is finally showing his potential. He had a shaky first couple weeks, but he seems like he's getting his footing. He's finally using his weapons, not trying to do too much because this is not USC. He actually has receivers, legitimate receivers, and a legitimate tight end. So they're finally clicking. And again, Jacksonville Jaguars are terrible. Very, very, very bad. Like, I don't know who's worse between them and the Panthers, but they're at the bottom. And it sucks to see. And yeah, they can stay out there a little bit longer if they would like. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we would miss them. And man, Dougie P is out of there, right?
Yeah,
I was about to say he did Coach Walker. That was my next point.
Yeah, he's definitely he's definitely out there. But now on the flip side, looks like Eberflus may keep his job for at least another year if they make the playoffs.
Yep, the NFC North is wide open. By the way, we'll get to that in a second. But
and looking really good.
I don't want to spend too much time on this. I think we all kind of expected it. It's at Lambeau, and let's just say Jordan Love, you guys, this guy, he spread the love all around. He's back. There you go. There we go. We spread love on the flex zone. I mean, we kind of expected this game, right, guys?
Yes, I expected it. Jordan Love is back to form. He's showing why he did get that nice contract in the offseason. He earned it. And my goodness, man, they're a whole different football team when he's out there throwing that rock around, man. So shout out to my man, Mr. Love, and for my fantasy team, too.
Do all four teams, Cravante, I just thought about it, do they all get into the playoffs? Think about it. Lions, Vikings are undefeated.
Lions, Tigers, and Bears.
Oh, my. Yeah, Cravante, they all could make it, man, especially with the new playoff format. Just saying.
So if only one team, meaning the division winner, makes it all of the divisions, then sure. But if we look at the East, it's probably only one team coming out of there. We look at the West, probably only one team coming out of there. And the South, probably, I don't know, the Bucks and the Falcons. I don't know. Probably only one team coming out of there. So there is a chance. There is a chance. But I do think that the Packers and the Vikings Packers, Vikings, and Lions are for sure going. I'm putting all of.
Yeah, I agree with you, Cavante. We'll see how it plays out. I just wanted to shout out Rodgers, man. Joe Flacco is still getting it done, brother. They get the win over the Titans. Cavante, you could throw the Titans in there as well with the Jaguars and Panthers, by the way.
Ah, man. They're really bad, man. They're really bad. And that's not saying much because the Colts aren't that much better, but Flacco over Richardson, unfortunately. Like Flacco's a much better quarterback at this point than Richardson. I'm not sure what you could do with Richardson right now because he has Shane Steichen as head coach. I don't know who the quarterback's coach is. Maybe they need to bring somebody in that could work with him specifically because I don't think they're rushing him to come back, especially with Joe Flacco leading the charge.
I mean, I'm gonna say this, man. Joe Flacco, wily veteran. He knows what he's doing. He's been there, done that. Been around the league. He's just a better quarterback than Anthony Richardson at this point. And if the Browns were smart, they should have kept him because right now they in definite need of a quarterback. My God, but Joe Flacco just got the experience, man. And Anthony Richardson being hurt all last year, damn near, and this year coming in and then
stupid, just stupid.
Exactly for the Browns, and then getting banged up, man. yeah, it's not a good look for the franchise, especially when he's supposed to be a franchise quarterback. They definitely need somebody to work with him. He got to get his confidence level back. But right at this moment, I'm not taking out Joe Flacco. Mm-mm.
Texans win Drake May's debut, Cravante, 41-21. This was the Texans' first win in New England. The Texans are starting to look like we thought they would look, Cravante, even without Nico Collins. He's hurt, but Tank Dell, don't forget Stephon Diggs. Joe Mixon's back, by the way. And oh, yeah, your boy CJ Stroud is still one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, for sure. This is one of those get right games. I absolutely expected this. It took a little minute, but once it took off, they obviously didn't look back. Drake May did not look terrible, completely terrible.
I think he's going to be all right.
Huh?
I think he's going to be all right. They just got to get him some help.
Yeah. So me and Raj was talking earlier, and it was like, damn, that was a good pass. Oh, that was a good pass. Oh, he threw a touchdown. I was like, you get some weapons around him, he can look okay. He can look pretty good. But we already said that in our draft profiles that he has the potential. I mean, his team in North Carolina wasn't good. His team in New England is not good. It's funny. It's almost kind of similar. Not no weapons. Not he has to make it up. Like you got to give the young man some weapons and some protection. That's what two things that the a young quarterback needs. But he shows some potential. I'll say that. But my guy CJ Stroud, he's that.
Raj?
CJ Stroud is the dude. He's the man. Drake May did look good in some instances, looked like a rookie in some instances as well. But I think that he showed why they drafted him number 3 overall. And I think he's only going to get better as the year goes on. He's going to get his feet wet, but like Gravante said, they need more around him. So they need to start drafting more offense, get some more weapons for him, especially since he's going to be in a rookie phase for the next at least 4 to 5 years. So just build around the young brother and let him do his thing. But CJ Stroud has everything he needs. And right now he's doing his damnedest to possibly be in that MVP running.
Raj, I'll go to you with this one as we will see Tampa next week. And I can get your quick thoughts, talk more about it obviously as the week goes on. But 51-27 over the Saints. The Saints kind of come back to what we thought they were, 2-4. No Derek Carr. Spencer Rattler got the start, another rookie. But the Buccaneers offense, man, they don't run it much, but they throw that damn thing all around the damn football.
Yeah, and it starts with the quarterback, man. It starts with Baker Mayfield. And right now he's having a quarterback resurgence yet again in Tampa. He just needed to get away from Cleveland. And now he has 2 great weapons around him and a decent defense. And he's doing the damn thing, man. Shout out to him, man. He was number 1 overall pick in 2018. We wrote him off for a little bit, but he's starting to have a really, really good career right now. And I think Tampa Bay is rolling. So it's a good look for them. The Saints, like you said, they're coming back to earth. It's crazy that they had 27 points in 1 quarter, but the other 3 quarters they scored nothing. But yeah, Spencer Rattler didn't look too bad, but still he was a rookie. He's a rookie as well. And they took advantage of it, man. Those other 3 quarters. So yeah, the Saints started off so well, man. But sometimes the clock strikes 12, and the Cinderella shoes are off. So back to reality you go.
Cravante, kind of like we thought, though. 2-team race in NFC South, Falcons and Bucks, probably battling it out. I think we all were kind of on that page.
Yeah. So the Bucks, offensively, I think they're going to be good. I think defensively is where they have their shortcomings. And the Falcons, they can explode offensively. We saw them the first couple weeks, and they didn't look great, but it seems like they're catching their stride. Bijan Robinson's getting involved. And they putting up, I think they put up 36 and 38 in their last 2 games. So pretty much a 2-team race. Who the other 2 teams are the Panthers and who else?
Saints. The Saints they just beat up on today.
Man, well,
It's
Yeah, it
okay,
looks like a
Cavante.
two-team race. Looks like a two-team race.
I'm gonna go to you, Cavante. NFC East. I know the Eagles struggled today, but they got that other big brother who's like a Derrick Henry at wide receiver, AJ Brown back. You know Devontae's there. Nick Sirianni, he's fussing with fans. I don't know what's going on there. I think he might be a dead coach walking if they don't get to at least probably the conference championship, in my opinion. What are the Eagles doing, man? They're 3-2, but I don't think Jalen Hurts has. I think he's regressed, honestly, in my opinion, from what I've seen.
Um, he's definitely seen some regression since the Super Bowl. Um, and it's his guy is in Indianapolis right now. Ever since Steichen left, the offense hasn't been the same. And even worse, when AJ Brown is not in the game, that offense is not the same. So AJ Brown just getting back, they have to get reacclimated, build up some chemistry. But Sirianni doesn't look like he's it. It just doesn't look like he's it. And he could be in a weird way. Well, maybe not in a weird way. Maybe not in a weird way, but he could be dividing the locker room. And that's the worst, is when you're getting messed up like internally. Because the Eagles are a pretty damn good team, but they're not proving it week in and week out. And they are not executing. And Jalen Hurts looks off. I'll say that. Looks off. And he needs some guys around him. Definitely needs some guys around him. But if his guys are not around him, I don't think Jalen Hurts is the one of the guys that could put the team on his back. AJ Brown absolutely needs to be there. Devonta Smith needs to be there. And yeah, because I think the defense could be had. So it's pretty much on that Eagles offense to get the team right. And I'll say this: AJ Brown needs to be healthy in order for this Eagles offense to thrive. And they only put up 20 today.
Raj, you gotta let us see the Browns lose, though.
The Browns are awful, man. That's a terrible, terrible football team. And the sad part is they had so much going into the season because they have like damn near every piece. They have the running backs, they have the quarterback. Well, I thought they had the quarterback. The wide receivers were good. Good. They had Jared Judy. You know, Mari Cooper's there, and the defense solid. You know, they were like number 2 or 3 in last year's. You know, Miles Garrett and our guy Zadarius Smith is over there. So it's like this is a complete letdown, and it's only going to get worse from here. Although Nick Chubb is coming back, but still, they're not going to bench Deshaun Watson, and he's having like the worst year ever as a quarterback. And it's just sad, man, because he was so good in Houston, so good in college, and once he got into that situation with those women, everything has went downhill from there. And the brother's just not he's not the same anymore, and he's bringing the whole team down, and it just is what it is, man. But shout out to the Eagles. I do agree with Cavante. They are taking somewhat of a step back, but hopefully they find their footing going forward.
Chargers and Broncos. This was an interesting game. Chargers off of a bye. I think Jim Harbaugh had a medical situation, but Ravens West, watch. They win, and they're hanging around. That's all I'm gonna say. And the Ravens got to see them soon too.
Of course, they run the football just as much as the Ravens do. They have a good quarterback in Justin Herbert, good running backs. You know, our pass running backs with Gus and J.K. And they play a good, legit defense. So they have all the tools to be successful. Today they were very successful. They were actually, destroying them at one point, but they allowed them to come back. But it is the NFL, so this is what happens sometimes. But shout out to the Chargers. Go Chargers, go, as Arnold would say. And yeah, man, the Broncos, they coming back to form as well. They started off very well, but Bo Nix is a rookie, of course. And they're going through growing pains, but they'll find their way. They will find their way too, eventually.
Go ahead, Cravante, as the Flex Zone OTC steps in the building as well. Go ahead, Cravante.
Which game we speaking on?
Chargers,
The
Broncos.
AFC West, chart the Ravens West and Broncos.
Oh yeah. I agree with Raj. They're gonna run that ball. If a hardball is running the team, they're gonna run that ball. And they jumped on the Broncos early. As you can see, the Broncos did not score to the fourth quarter. Excuse me. So that is absolutely Ravens West. Bo Nix, he is a rookie, so these growing pains are going to happen. Defense is still pretty solid, but that's the type of game I kind of expect for a divisional game, and plus two teams with pretty good defenses. And yeah, that looks about right. I can't wait to see the Harbaugh brothers meet up because that's going to be a running ball type of game, ground and pound.
Well, as we always do, we got to stop the presses as the OTC is in the place to be, the Flex Zone podcast. You know, it wouldn't be a post-game show without the one, the only, Drizzy Dre. He only comes for two reasons, and one of them this week was a Ravens victory. We acknowledge you, my tribal chief. What's going on, Drizzy?
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dre, man, in the building.
And then he's out of the building. Dre's out.
And he fell out of the building.
Okay.
That's great.
He'll be back.
Raiders Steelers, Cravate. Steelers beat the Raiders 32-13. Justin Fields, I think he lives another week, man. I know there's a lot of pressure coming in this week, but they got the job done. They got the job done.
I ain't got nothing for you on this game. The Raiders are another bad team, bad organization, poorly ran organization. And yeah, I think we know the real reason why Devontae Adams is out. And Max Crosby is probably going to be out the door next. AP, I hate to see this for black man just got this job, but how the Raiders organization manage things, I don't think it's going to last too long. But the Steelers, a well-run organization who has an identity. They showed their identity. Defense, running the ball, capitalizing off of turnovers. Justin Fields, not the best at passing, but still very effective on the run, on the run and on the ground, which is what the Steelers do best. So, Steelers putting up 32 is kind of an anomaly, but if you saw the game where it's like, oh, that makes sense.
The cockroaches are the Steelers, ladies and gentlemen, because they don't die. 4-2. And Raj, like you said, we got to see them too, man. 2 times.
Yeah, man. Not shocking. They play extremely great defense when they really need to. TJ Watt punched the ball out on one of those plays.
Twice.
Twice. There's nothing I can really say, man. This is what they do. This is how they win football games. And we're gonna have to see them. They're gonna be extremely tough to stop. Not looking forward to it. Saw a bunch of Steelers fans today at the Green Turtle. They did. I was like, trust and believe. We know the record between y'all and Lamar. We know y'all up. It's cool, whatever. But yeah, they do what they do best. And the Raiders, they're a franchise that's in flux right now. They don't know what they want to do. So they got a long way to go. They got to find that quarterback. And I think they got the right head coach. I think, Pierce is good. He just doesn't have the tools around him to win. So it is what it is.
Drizzy Jerry, we got you back, brother.
Yeah, okay, I'm here now.
Welcome back, brother. Good to see you as always, my guy.
See you too.
First and foremost, as always, how you feeling? And as always, we acknowledge you, my brother.
Acknowledge me.
What's your thoughts on the game?
It was good to be with the fellas today. And I'm sorry, what was your question, man?
Oh no, I was just gonna ask you about the game. Do your thing, brother.
I heard earlier y'all talking about like the Eagles and the state of the Eagles. Y'all are looking forward to the Harbaugh brothers when they match up. And as far as today's Ravens game, I don't mind being wrong. I thought that the Commanders would come out, and I thought that they would win this football game today. But the Ravens showing why they're a championship caliber team, going out there running the football. And what I really, really do like is that we're featuring Derrick Henry, something that Roger was talking about when we were watching the game, saying that instead of it being forced that Derrick Henry is a part of it, it's more like that now they're finally welcoming Derrick Henry. They're featuring him, making sure that his presence is known, giving him the football more, and that's taking pressure off Lamar Jackson. They said that they wanted Lamar to throw the football more, which he has been doing, and Lamar had a really Lamar and Zay Flowers. I mean, showed up and showed out. It was as if they, and Karate was saying this, it's as if they didn't. They knew that it was coming to Zay Flowers, and they still weren't able to stop it. And then you had Derrick Henry grounding and pounding. Lamar had a few carries, but you saw that his yardage wasn't compared to Derrick Henry, which at this point, I mean, Derrick Henry's having an MVP season, and we haven't seen somebody from the running back position have that since the days of Adrian Peterson. So I'm really happy with the state of this Ravens team. And their next couple of games look really winnable when you look at the rest of their schedule. Even the Steelers game, which is a little questionable because we've struggled against both the Steelers and the Chiefs in the past. But this might be a different year where we may be able to do something with this Steelers team. That remains to be seen. But right now, when you look at the Ravens' remaining schedule, with at least the next like 5 games, it looks very winnable for them right now.
All right, Jerry, I want to get your thoughts on this game because you came in at the right time. As your team that you do root for sometimes, I think the Dallas Cowboys just gave up another touchdown as they got their ass whooped today. Oh, they got beat like a drum, 47-9. But unfortunately for the Lions, a devastating injury as Aiden Hutchinson looks like he broke his leg, so he's done for the year. And I really don't know what the Cowboys are. We don't know what the Cowboys are. We saw the Ravens beat them, but Cavante's got to be loving it, I'm sure. But there was a lot of this down in Dallas.
No, correction. I root for the Lions because I like Dan Campbell. But nah, because the Cowboys, I just like trolling people. That's all. But Dan Campbell and the Lions, man. I mean, 40 something on Dan. I mean, on Jerry Jones's birthday. That's nasty work, man. I mean, jeez, Louise. I mean, damn near put up 50 on them boys. Embarrassing. And you see Dak Prescott out there. It's not. Some people going to say it's Dak Prescott's fault. It's not totally on Dak Prescott. It's I mean, it's the Cowboys as a whole. You have a lot of injuries.
Oh, we lost Dre again. Go ahead,
Yep, there
Roger.
you go. Cowboys, man, they're an abomination right now. Uh, I don't. They had a chance to go get Derrick Henry, and they chose to get Ezekiel Elliott back, and now they're paying for it big time because Ezekiel Elliott gives them absolutely nothing. He's completely done. He's finished. He will not play again after this year, and it's a damn shame because I like the brother. I thought he could play, but they used him up, and his time has run out. But I don't know, man. It just seems like this team is all over the place at this point. They're getting their ass handed to them damn near every other week. We should have blew them out. The Lions did blow them out. And it's just I don't know, man. It's just they have a plethora of excuses, a plethora of people not playing hard at times, and it's just an organization that's in flux. And now they got CeeDee Lamb on the books for 4 or 5 more years, and then they re-signed Dak, so they can't get rid of him either. And I don't know, man. They just seem like they're going to continue to keep losing a lot of these games, and they don't have a running game to show for it, and their defense is god awful. But as far as the Lions are concerned, yeah, he did. Aiden Hutchinson did break his leg, but he could be back though. He just he got surgery today, which is insane. But he ended up getting surgery today. So Dan Campbell, the knee biter, said that he will be out, but possibility that you might see him again before the season is over with.
Would not be surprised actually with that, Raj. You're a good point. Go ahead, Cravante. I know you love to see the Cowboys lose and they fall to 3-3.
Man, I love it. Love every bit of it. But I was telling Raj earlier that the Cowboys are cowboying a little earlier than usual. This is usually behavior we would see from in like December. I'm like, damn, it's October. It's kind of early for them to be, excuse me, playing terribly like this. Um, but the Lions put boots to asses, as y'all say, and the Cowboys look like they didn't get out of bed today. And the Lions came in there with something to prove. And Mike McCarthy looked and Dak Prescott both look lost, which is something you did not want to see. Oh, and happy birthday, Jerry Jones. I think this was a great gift from the world. I think this was a great gift. Um, the gift of a whooping. I think that's grind. Um, but the Cowboys look terrible. Cowboys look absolutely horrible. CeeDee Lamb just got paid. Dak Prescott just got paid. So y'all better figure it out. This is amazing. This is really, really good.
Real quick, Falcons beat the Panthers 38-20 and 49ers beat the Seahawks 36-24. Any thoughts on those games, fellas?
No.
And then
Nope.
tomorrow, big time game on
No.
Monday night though. Bills and Jets for first place in the AFC East. So, any final thoughts, guys? I know we've been doing this for over an hour, but first of all, guys, I don't feel my best, so I appreciate you guys carrying me to the finish line. Cavante, I hear, yes, I see the ginger ale. I know it's
Ah.
Yeah, man.
Struggle
My
a bit,
allergies
baby.
have picked up. Allergies and picked up all of a sudden. I guess it decided to be an actual summer day today, so it's
and then
just
it'll be like 30 degrees this week in the morning. Like, what's going on?
yeah, it'll go
Right.
right back to yeah. This weather is crazy, so I hear the Gravante's voice. I ain't feeling too good either. You're not feeling too good. Thank God, these two football teams are feeling good though. I mean, but it
Yeah.
is what it is, man. I had a great day today. We fellowshipped, as Dre would say, all day today. We had
Yeah.
a full football slate. Watched almost every damn game. It was fun, man. It was great. Shout out to the Commanders, like I said before. They gave us a good game. They have a bright future ahead of them. They have a great quarterback that's going to get better as time goes on, and they're on the right path, man. I've never said this like ever, but seriously, they are right. They are on the right path, and they have the right people, in charge. So hats off to them, man, and good luck to with you guys, for the rest of the season.
Dre, I know you dipped off, brother, but what's your thoughts, brother? I know we were talking about the Cowboys and anything you want to finish up with that and Ravens as they head to Tampa next week, Monday Night Football as well. They put up 51 today.
I know right now Raj was saying that he had questions about this Tampa Bay game. I mean, it's questionable, but I think the Ravens can pull this one off. And as far as the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, a lot of work has to be done. That Dallas defense, a lot of injuries, and then as far as your offense, I mean, if you only have CD Lamb and everybody knows just shut down CD Lamb, what other options do you really have? I don't think it's a matter of paying Dak Prescott, is paying CD Lamb. It's just that you had opportunities to open up this offense, and you chose not to. You didn't get Derrick Henry in the offseason. You chose to get Ezekiel Elliott. Your offensive line, you're getting any team that's physical with you will annihilate you at the line of scrimmage. So this Dallas team has a lot to work forward, moving forward, and it's not just really all on Mike McCarthy. This is really on Dallas as a whole, not preparing for this season, and things can only get worse because you still got to pay Michael Parsons on top of everybody else who you already paying.
Drizzy Dre, episode 461 tomorrow. Maybe a
Yeah, we have a
guest. We're
guest. We have
working
a
on that,
guest
but
maybe.
yeah, tomorrow.
I mean, we got a lot to talk about. I mean, college football. One thing I was right about was Oregon beating the Ohio State. I mean,
You're big on Oregon, Dre. You picked them before the year, I think, to win it all, right?
I did. Don't you boo me. You got college football happening. We still got the WNBA finals. We still got Major League Baseball. I mean, right now the
Dre,
Dodgers.
you might be getting your wish, man. Dodgers up. They might be getting your Yankees. You may finally get Judge Ohtani. Boy, is that what baseball needs, man. We talk about The Rock. We talk about big-time matchups. It would be good for baseball to get that.
Oh my gosh, yes, it would be. I mean, right now we're getting a preview of New York and New York, LA, but it's nothing. If you hear Yankees, Dodgers, oh my gosh, the World Series. We've been, like you said, Judge, Ohtani. Oh my gosh, I mean, we close, gentlemen. We close. Let's make it happen. It's a lot happening right now in the world of sports. I'm loving it, and basketball is literally just a few days away. My gosh, man, I'm just so excited.
Devontae, baby, we salute you, brother, because you command the Flex Zone Podcast. You are the commander of the Flex Zone Podcast.
Appreciate you guys, man. Trying to make it through, baby. Try and make it through.
Yes, make sure you come back and see us. We like having you here on the Postgame Show, man. Always a pleasure. We'll have more Commanders content as well. We got to capitalize on the success of the Commanders and the Commanders fans in the comments. So shout out to you guys. I know you guys were talking heavy. It's all love, though. We'll be seeing.
Is that no? It's definitely all love. Definitely all love.
Big Raj, man, we are running on fumes, but a lot of content on the channel, and we're growing, man. Can't complain too much.
Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. We had a big week this week. Lots of content, like you said. The AEW Russell Dream last night show was pretty cool. Previews and post game shows with the Maryland Terps and the Baltimore Ravens, of course. Tomorrow we got another big show coming for you guys, so just stay tuned. Maybe a special guest, maybe not. But yeah, man, we doing a damn thing, and it feels good.
Fellas, as I mentioned, for holding me down, and we'll keep it rocking tomorrow night, 10 p.m., episode 461, NFL, WNBA, MLB playoffs, college football, and maybe even a little NBA as we get ready for the season, but we'll do more NBA. Of course, next week, Raj will be getting ready for his trip to Tampa. We'll get his input on that. We got Ravens previews. We got Terps USC this week. We got possibly a big Friday night SmackDown. We may be live for that. Just everything. So check out the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Big shout out to Dre, Stop and Pass, the executive producer, co-founder, along with the Commander Lawyer Cavante, the senior producer of the Flex Zone Podcast. Appreciate you, Cavante, and of course, Big Raj, the social media guy making the streams. Christine, God's favorite host, yours truly, the associate producer. We've been here for over an hour. We're going to put the kids to bed. We're going to go to bed. We're going to feel better and bring you the best sports podcast in all the universe. Flex Zone Podcast. Hit us up on all social media, the Flex Zone 1. Hit the like button, hit the bell. And of course, we'll see you in less than 24 hours. Stay tuned to the channel, hit the bell. Vote on the poll on your way out. Hit the like button. As always, you can super chat us as well. For Raj, Cavante, and Dre, we're signing off. There's Dre. Any final words, Dre, before we get out of this week?
No, I mean, other than I'm just happy that the Ravens got that Battle of the Beltway victory, and went to Tampa Bay on Monday.
And it looks like the Bengals are going to win as they just got a late touchdown as they took a 17-7 lead. So don't look now, but the Bengals aren't dead yet, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll be seeing them down the road as well. But we'll be seeing you guys tomorrow for episode 461. Thank you guys. Can't do it without you. And you, Flex Zone family as well. We're getting out of here, y'all. Ravens win. Commanders are on the rise, though. Big shout out to everybody in D.C. and Maryland who rolled up. Safe travels back. Enjoy yourselves. Ready for another work week and another week of the Flex Zone starting Monday with the Flagship Podcast. Peace. Good night, everybody. Peace.
Acknowledge me! Finger licking good special. That's what I'm talking about.